Hi Marlin, you catching one of these live? I suppose different time zones. Where are you of America where that you are? Yeah, tonight I'm going to be just doing a bit of pixel art for Ghost Blaster. Just need a few more assets putting in, so I'm planning on drawing a few bits and pieces and then may get round to importing them into Godot and either creating normal maps for them in lighter or may end up hand drawing some of them. So first of all, what I'm going to be making in Ghost Blaster, I've got some secret rooms which I will show you. For example, on this one, this room down here is a secret room, and in these rooms I want there to be sort of things to collect like treasure and stuff, so when you go in. So I'm planning on drawing a treasure chest first that will be in there, and then when the player collects it, it'll spawn particle effects and all sorts of goodness like that. Just realised I'm not even sharing that screen. So this is what I was actually talking about. When you go over here, there's got to be a secret room. So I want things in these rooms. They've got to be dotted about all over the map. So I'm going to add a treasure chest in there. 6 hours behind you, I think. Yeah, it's currently 9:15 at night here. So we'll make it 24 by 24, this treasure chest. Load my palette in that I'm using. I'm using the AAP 64 palette for this game. A bit larger than the normal palettes I use. I normally tend to try and stick to 16 or 32, but being a bigger project at the beginning, I decided I'd choose a bigger colour palette. So I'll start off first of all just blocking things out in black and getting the silhouette how I want it. So I think with this chest we'll have sort of a base. It's got to be maybe a sort of a chunky style chest. And then we'll have a lid on it. And then we'll have a section that comes down here, which will probably be for the lock. That's central. So let's start doing a little bit of colouring. I always never really very good at choosing colours for wood, but we'll make a start with that. Could have just flood filled that, but a little bit of highlight things just for now. Just not so sure about these colours, but probably end up changing them in a bit. Is that darker? No, it's a bit lighter. And then in this bit here we'll have a little bit of shadow because it's got to be sort of an inset panel. this in here. Get the darker colour. They're being quite small sprites. I'm trying not to put that much detail in because they can just look too busy. So if I'd be working in something a little bit bigger, I'd be doing some shading and stuff like that. It's like a bar on the bottom. And we'll get the dark colour and just add a little bit in there like that. A little bit there, and we'll make a start on the top. Maybe we'll come in slightly with the I've just realised I've messed up a little bit because I've not left myself enough room to do. I like to do a dark outline round things to make them stand out. So we'll just make the canvas size a couple of pixels wider and taller, so allow me to do that. A little bit of lightness to the top. And bring this dark colour. That's sort of a groove where there's the separation between the lid and the base. There's a nice dark outline for going around it. Have you been up to any game dev today, Marlin? A little bit of shadow under that beam and that bit there. Maybe go even slightly darker in that little recess there. And this has got to be like a gold sort of coloured lock. Bit of a gold highlight on that top corner. And a little bit dark there. Yeah, it's not looking too bad. Quite happy with that. Not yet today, working on some editing a little later. I'm working the day job right now. I'm all finished for the day, so... Do you work in computing for the day job, or is it a non-computing related job? I think I'm actually going to make the separation there a line as well. I was thinking about adding some straps to this as well, so I'll add a new layer and just see what they look like before I commit. I'd sort of thought about maybe some gold sort of straps. Mess that up there. Might as well just copying this and pasting it and then just flipping it vertically, horizontally even. Just drag that over there. Hi Plasma for you, how are you doing? Doing a little bit of pixel art tonight. Just don't know whether to carry these down all the way down or not. We'll have a look and see what we think. Having a TV station from home, tell the automation systems what to do. It's more like a fancy version of data entry. Ah, yeah, good idea. You got to learn those hotkeys. Just finish up this save load system. Oh, I saw you on earlier, but I didn't have time to pop in because I'm busy at work. So, how did it go? To be honest, I don't think these gold bits are adding a great deal. What in chat? What do you think? Do you think with the gold sort of straps on it or without? I'm thinking without. I'm thinking it's not the best. Yeah, I think I'm going to go without. Can always add them in later if I decide to. So, what we'll do now, we'll draw this chest being opened. I like the straps, but it's your preference. Yeah, maybe I'm giving up on them too soon. Yeah, I know what you mean. I do like them. Yeah, maybe I'll do both versions. I'm going to need lots of chests in the game, so yeah, I suppose I don't need to stick to just the one. Yeah, probably go with both. We had both alternatives. Yeah, I think I probably will. You should use the mirror function at the top. Mirror function. I see you trying to make things symmetrical. Yeah, it's sort of symmetrical, but I'm having light source from sort of top left, so I don't want it totally symmetrical. It's a line at the top, you click it and boom, it costs what you do on the side. Yeah. It's not totally symmetrical what I'm doing, so I'll probably just stick doing it. Right, I think that may be okay for that for now. Right, what I need to do next, I need to create a light map for it. So what I'll do, I use a normal map, sorry, I use a program called Lighter, which sometimes gives good results, sometimes doesn't. Sometimes I have to hand draw the normal maps, so what I'll do, I'll export a sprite sheet. Save that as a PNG. And then this is the software that I use. It's open source, a free piece of software. So I'll import that. Scene chests that I've just made. Yeah, it's not done a good job of that at all. Sometimes it'll do really well. An example. Nope, it's not done that well. Your tile maps, it does those quite well. See, it sort of does okay sometimes, but others it just makes a real mess of them. So I think I'll end up drawing these by hand instead. So we'll create a new, and we'll paste them in, add a new layer. Let me just find the... Thought I'd used it earlier, but obviously not. Normal map. Let me just find it. I was just a suggestion, don't mind me, lol. No, I know what you mean. I do sometimes use that, but normally if it's a bigger piece of work, when it's only so small, I tend to not bother. Where did I put those normal maps? There we go. So I'll use this to help me just manually draw the normal map. So what I'll do, I'll just make the sprite a bit bigger. That wasn't what I meant to do, it's canvas size I'm meant to be making larger. I do know what I'm doing, honest. Now if I paste in what I was working on. Add it a new layer. And add another layer on top of that, and then I'll paint in the normal map. Right, back to my pen. So this is just the sort of flat area that I don't really want to get much shade. Helps if I'm on the right layer. Right. So I don't really want this layer to get affected by the light there. So I'll just give that the sort of flat colour that doesn't get affected. Give that all that colour for now, because that should then catch the shadow. Give that bit in the corner that colour, because that's quite a painstaking way of doing it, but it does work. So hi Sticks, how are you doing? And then what we'll do, we'll get the shade for the top. And draw that in on that top edge there. Actually, we'll draw it on the dark outline, because we might as well have that affected by the light. Yeah, I'm just hand drawing some normal maps at the moment, because the results that Lighter gave me were pretty poor. Well, having said that, I've just tell you what, I'm going to just try something else that might give me a better result in Lighter. Let's go back to the chests in here. See, I've just been drawing these chess sticks for in the hidden rooms where coins will pop out of them. I'm on Dead by Daylight here, but not chatting constantly. Don't worry about it. Lurk away. Add a new layer on top. And if I just purely do it as light and dark, then hopefully that will then give me what I'm looking for when I put it in lighter. All this area here is going to be raised, so hopefully if I shade it all light, this might not work at all, but it's worth a try. If we do all this in here, the darker colour, if I do put a little bit of shading on stuff. So it's just a very quick test to hopefully prove my idea. Bring lighter back up. Let's import that. Some of the results, I don't know whether I've changed some settings because these don't look anywhere near as good as what I was getting. Yeah, that's a lot better. See how it sort of caught the basic shape, so yeah, I think I'll be happy with that. So I'll do the same for the other side as well. Can copy a big chunk of it because the light will look exactly the same. So again, we'll just block out the rough shape of the chest. It's mainly just drawing to show that the light bits are higher than the darker bits. That's all I'm doing here. Just give a little bit of darkness in there. Maybe just a little bit of a light detail on the top like we did with the chest when it was closed. Right, all the art assets in my game, they double the actual size that I draw them in, because originally I was going to do them in more detail, but I'm quite happy with the art style, so I'm just sticking with that. But I still need to double everything, because otherwise I'd have to do a lot of changes in the game. So that's the chest. I'll just try it chest sheet grey. Put along with that. So we'll double the size. It's a bit more work me having to double it, but it's a lot less than having to rewrite a load of the game engine. Right, now let's create the normal maps. I'll have to do them individually, because otherwise when I put them in lighter it gets confused when there's two things joined together and thinks it's all one shape. So I'm on the wrong layer, that's why it's copied it wrong. Right, start that again. Get rid of you. Yeah. Right, so we've got them both there, ready to import into lighter. I can get rid of that because I'm not hand drawing them anymore. That was a bad idea. Got so many windows open. Right, so just remove that for now. And we'll import find the asset again. Did I only save one of them? What have I done there? Right, yep. Chest test. Open. And that one needs to be doubled in size as well. Save that. Right, now should be ready to bring those in. So we'll go that one first. Get rid of that was there previously. Yep, that should work nicely. Right, now get the other one in. And then we'll export that. Not the best with this software because I've not been using it that long. It's only in this project that I've started to use it, so if I'm a little bit all over the place with it, that's why. Right, so that is right, so we'll join the normal maps together. We'll just add them into a different layer on in a sprite, and then I'll export them as a sprite shoot. And I've got them all stored together in one place. What size has that actually exported those normal maps at? Should have only done them at 52 by 52, have I not? Oh yeah, that's not actually been enlarged, so I'll just do them on here. As you can see, it is quite a new workflow to me. So what I'll do now, I'll just delete that layer. Now I'll just get rid of these areas that there's no pixels there because I don't need any lighting effects on those bits. So now if I save that as so now what I need to do is import these into Godot. Flip to the Godot screen. I'll add a new folder. Call it chest. And all I need to do is copy those files into there, which I'll just do. I can find where I save them. I'm there now. With Godot, what I'll need to do now is re-import them, because otherwise it gets a bit blurry with pixel art. So we'll choose the 2D pixel preset, and then that'll make those nice and sharp. And we'll create a new scene, and we'll get them imported in. So this scene, I'm going to need to detect when the player enters. So what we'll do, we'll make it an area 2D node, and then we can use the collision shape of that to detect when the player actually moves in, which I'm not planning on doing tonight, but if I get this sort of set up and imported, and we'll make that, give it a rectangle shader. And then we'll add a sprite as a child to this. And then for that sprite, the texture will be the chest that we've just created, and the normal map will be the normal map that I've just created. And it's got 2 horizontal frames. So there, we've got both added into the scene. So we'll now save this as a chest scene. Should have actually saved the name of it before I started trying to save it, but I can do that in a moment. And we'll change that to chest as well. Turn on the, make sure pixel snap's turned on, and what I'll do, I'll just move that up there so it's level on the X, and then we'll just increase the collision shape for it. We'll add a script to it, and then everything's set up then with it ready to be used in the scene. I'll just pop it in the room now just to see what the lighting effect looks like on it. So I'll just drag my player down here. It's the only place in this scene at the moment that I've got a light. Finally finished that save system. That crap was annoying. Yeah, I've done a couple of save games, very simple ones in Unity, which I wouldn't like to do it again anytime soon. Made a game a bit like, what game was it called? Doodle God, where you sort of combine elements, and I had to do a save system for that where you had to save all the different combinations the player had unlocked and things, which was a bit of a pain. So what you're saving in your game, Plasma, is it just like the level progress, things like that, or and things that the players collected and stuff? So I'll just instance the chest scene in here. So there it is. Right, why have I done that as a child of the player? isn't what I wanted to do at all. I did a write out to XML so it reads from a file. Oh, cool. So yeah, you can see there the light here is just catching the top of this chest. So what I'll do, I'll just move the light around and then we'll be able to hopefully see. Yeah, it's not perfect, but I think for now, maybe at some point I'll touch up that, but you can see as I move the light around, it's affecting the chest shape, so it's just a nice subtle effect. So yeah, that's that added in. Right, so what I think I'll do now is a bit more pixel art. Yeah, different variables that need to be carried over and that need to be saved when they shut the game off. Yeah. Plasma View is working on a sort of a retro looking Doom style game. Possil 3D is it called, Plasma? You'll correct me if I'm wrong. So if anyone wants to check that out, you can wish it list that on Steam at the moment. It's coming along really nicely, looks really good. I'm sure Plasma will correct me in the chat if I've got the name of it wrong, but I know it's a Possil, but I think it's got 3D on the end. Right, so I'll close these because I don't need these anymore. And what I plan to draw next, I'm thinking of creating like a some stained glass windows, sort of, as well as just the currently in the game. I'll show you what I've got. Currently in the game, the only windows I've got are just these simple background windows that I make. And then I have some moonlight which I drag in, which as you can see just sort of affects things slightly. So what I'm thinking is now, if I had some bigger windows, because there's some levels that have got quite large areas, so I thought maybe some stained glass windows would look quite nice there. So that is what I'm going to draw next. Yeah, Possil 3D. Thank you, I'm trying all. Yeah, you know, it's coming on really well. I really like it. I'll definitely be getting it as soon as you release it. I love that type of stuff. Right, so if I put my pen, there we go. File new, 64 by 80. Should roughly be about the right sort of size. Let's load my palette in that I'm using. Right, what I'll do, I'll just load up this sprite sheet so I can just check that I'm using the same greys and things so it's all consistent. Have I got it here? Nope. Could really do with sorting these files out because they're all over the place. They were in some order to begin with, but that's long since disappeared. Right, so let's check. Grab that colour for now, which is that one, and we'll roughly get it blocked out using that. So we'll have at the bottom a rough shape of a windowsill. With the background sort of things, I tend to not always put the dark line around the edge of them like I do with things in the foreground that I want to pop more and players to see, like enemies and things. The background stuff I leave without that, so they blend in a bit more. Frozen Well streams have really got the best music. Cheers, what eat. Yeah, I really like this Pretzel Rocks soundtrack. It's nice stuff. What you been up to today, what eat? Let's just get a rough. Just use a colour that I'm not going to be using just to get a rough shape, and then I'll go over that. Roughly be what we're needing, and I'm planning on just making these sort of bricks for the outline, just very roughly for now. Mainly uni classes, not too exciting. Well, what is it you're studying at uni? I know you've mentioned you've done Python and stuff, so I'm presuming it's a computing type course. New Ghost Blast content, see what are you drawing? At the moment I'm drawing a stained glass window. You probably missed earlier in the stream, I have been drawing a treasure chest. So I've drawn this earlier on. It's just going to be in the secret rooms where the player will be able to find treasures like coins, which it's going to be a mobile game. So I'm planning that the coins that the player collects will maybe unlock different skins for the player, maybe eventually a different style for the whole game, depending on how successful the game is. Or if the player dies, allow them to continue slightly. So I've drawn that, and then we created, using lighter, a normal map, which is somewhere here. They're a normal map, so the lighting all works with the 2D lights in Godot. That's what I've been up to. Now this is just going to be a stained glass window. I've got to do a few of these just for the backgrounds to add a bit of variety to the levels. So I'm just quickly roughing out some sort of stone sort of window frame type thing. I'm doing computer science and engineering. Cool. How far on in your course are you? You be graduating soon, or? And how's the current sort of world situation going on? Because you're in Italy, aren't you? Are you sort of in lockdown? Are you doing classes in person, or is it all sort of video and distance learning? That looks honestly good. Oh, cheers, thanks. Did you draw the normal map yourself? No, I use this software called Lighter, where I initially just threw the sprite in, but it really made a bad job of creating a normal map. So I just did a very quick grayscale version, you can see it over on the right, which then generated this normal map from it. So I'm quite pleased with how that came out. It was a bit of a tester that I'd tried. Bit more chunkiness to these. Let's try and get the shapes looking good before I go any further with the actual windows in between. We're doing mixed. Some days some of us are in class, some days we're all from home. Need more time out of my room. Yeah, it's go a bit stir crazy, can't you? Oh, cheers sticks. Normal maps work really nicely. Yeah, I'm liking how they're coming out in the engine. Right, so I think that'll roughly do for now for the these silly colours that I put in. Oh, see, that sounds like a good piece of software. Yeah, it is, and it's free as well. Got a funding grant from Epic as well, so they've obviously got some funding for it. You can get it on itch. I'll put the link to it in the description, then anyone can check it out if they want. But there's quite a few pieces of software like that do these normal map creation. I know there's, I think it's D-Light. There's one that I've seen, but that was a paid one. It had quite a successful Kickstarter, but then I don't think they've actually done much development on it since, as is the case often with these Kickstarters. Right, just have a quick look at my reference sheet of how I was planning on doing these windows. I was planning on having quite a light. We'll go with that colour for now. Now sort of a more uniform sort of bit where the glass is going to be. Should really click on the pixel perfect line option then, and then I just get a solid line. A bit late now. So this has just got to be like the outer edge of the glass. Never drawn stained glass windows before, so I'm not sure how this is going to turn out. Could be a complete failure, but we'll see. It's the first time I've actually streamed live doing pixel art, so it's quite nerve-wracking really, knowing that there's people watching what I'm doing. I've watched people doing art many a times live, and now Sticks, he streams a lot of art, and his art's just amazing. So it's well worth checking out his stream on Twitch, Sticks Media. Probably gone a little bit close to that, maybe get rid of a little bit of that. I'm using a drawing tablet to do this because even though it's pixel art, I just find it so much more natural. I used just a mouse for years and years, but lately I started using a drawing tablet a lot more, and I find it really great for doing this. Right, I've got a quick look at my reference images. And I thought what I'd do next would be sort of some blocks of various colours. The image I'm planning doing on this sort of window is going to be sort of a hill graveyard type thing with a cross on, so I'll draw the cross for now. So sort of a cross there in the middle. Not sure exactly how I'm going to do this to make it look stained glass yet, but I'll make that up as I go along. Sort of on a grassy sort of area, that's the plan. Roughly get the areas of colour blocked out, and then I'll start adding sort of the leading in that to hopefully make it look more like a stained glass window. Thinking maybe if I start putting different sort of slight different shades in, it may work out okay. Let's play a bit harsh, maybe that colour. It's probably got to do quite a bit of work to get this looking anything like decent. But I'm not happy with that at all, so I've got the pixel perfect line on now, so that'll just draw me a 1 pixel line as opposed to what I was doing before. I'll add a new layer and I'll do it on a layer on top of the lead work because I think that's got to be the best way to go. But we'll get some more different colours in for now. Let's have a look at chat. Learning how to do normal maps for pixel art. Yeah. I see a common pattern around these parts. Dark jagged lines for the glass. Yeah, it's sort of the lead work that I'm using those for, sort of between the various little parts of glass, so we'll just have to see how that looks. Alright, hi Ian, are you alright? Thanks for dropping by. How are you today? a bit too purpley, that colour, I think. It's just got to be a case of sticking with maybe these 3 colours that I've started with here. I'm not convinced how this is going to actually turn out. See if I can get that looking right with the dark now. Sort of what I'm going for, but this is very rough. Not too shabby. How's things going with the game? It's coming on nicely. Slowly. I don't get as much time to spend it on it as I'd like, but I'm hoping that by the end of March, all the levels, you'll be able to play through a full level from start to finish. There's about a dozen different types of room because they all have like different left, top, right, bottom, exit combinations. But I'm hoping to have at least 1 room of each done and the gameplay in place, and then I can start adding more hazards and things from there. That's the plan anyway. But I've been working on it far too long now. I really would like to get it into a playable state. Yeah, I'm not too sure how this is really going to look. In practice I thought it was a good idea, but now I'm sort of starting to regret it slightly. Yeah, that's not working at all. Right, we'll go back to getting the outside bits done where it's more symmetrical, and then I'll have a think about that the actual picture a bit more. So what's everybody up to tonight? Anything exciting? I think we'll go for some reds and oranges around this outside because I'm not going to be using them anywhere in the central area, so it'll add just a little bit of colour variation to it. About to play some games with the boys, listening to new music from a game. What games you got to be playing, Plasma? Migrating websites from one server to another, so nothing exciting. That sounds great fun. Is that for a day job, Ian, or is that for personal project type stuff? Can't say I like that song. Nothing as exciting as server migrations. No, right, laugh sticks, eh? Winding up old freelance projects. No, fair enough. It's starting to look a little bit more like I was wanting it to. Hi Joseph, thanks for popping by. Ty, did you give Twitch a go? No, I've not given Twitch a go yet. I'm planning on doing it at some point. I'm just seeing how YouTube goes to begin with. Sort of was thinking that maybe I'd dual stream and do both, but as yet I've not done that, so I'm all set up to go on Twitch, but I've just not got round to it. Sorry, I've been here a while, but you were so into the art I didn't want to disturb. Oh no, I'm having a bit of a nightmare with this stained glass window that I'm drawing. I gave up on the middle bit and I've gone to just doing the outsides because that just looks a complete mess in the middle at the minute. So I'm going to have to, I think, maybe plan out slightly how I'm going to actually construct it. It's meant to be a hill with a gravestone, but it's going in the bin, that. First time I've actually streamed pixel art. I was quite nervous to begin with because I've seen lots of people doing it and doing it really well, but I'm actually quite enjoying myself. It's quite relaxing. Try to make the best of I can with the palette I've got. Well, that's why I like working with a restricted palette, because you have to sort of sometimes make colour choices that you wouldn't really want to make, but they often turn out looking quite good. A little bit more shade, sort of shading on this edge bit to brighten some bits up. I'll probably be streaming for about another 10-15 minutes tonight, and then planning on, don't know whether anyone saw that earlier, I was doing a little bit of remaking Space Invaders using Construct 3. I'm planning on doing that again tomorrow around about midday. Probably another 40-45 minute stream. Hopefully then do the same on Thursday and I can have a fully working remake of Space Invaders there. And then next week I may do the same on a lunchtime but use Godot to make it. Hey bud, gonna dip out. I'll be back whenever you continue. Oh, cheers Plasma. I'm planning on probably continuing with a pixel art maybe on Thursday evening around the same time. But thanks for stopping by. And anyone who doesn't know, Plasma is making a really good Doom, retro looking Doom game called Apostle 3D, and you can wishlist that on Steam. Right, I think I'm going to do the stones around the edge and I'm going to have a think about this middle bit a bit more, because I just don't think I'm going to. I need to have a look at a few more reference images of stained glass windows. As I was saying earlier, the background images I do had all these stones around the edge. I want them to blend in more with it being sort of in the background, so that they don't pop out as much at the player. I'm planning on with these stained glass windows as well, adding some sort of fancy 2D lights that hopefully bring a few of the colours down into the game world as well. So I'll draw those by hand at some point as well. Let's add a new layer and I'll just get the background colour added in, because I'm pretty sure it's that dark one that I've used for the lead, so I may have to redo the lead in a bit darker. Just get a bit better idea of how it's going to look in the game when I sort of add the background colour in as well. Probably gone a little bit mad there with the shading. As if I look at those, I've only put very little highlights on them, so I think I'll take some of that out. I think it looks a bit much. Looks awesome off. Thanks very much there, Joseph. Yeah, I'm not happy with this middle bit. That's going to get all deleted out, because that's not started looking at all like I want it to, but I'm quite pleased with how the rest of it's coming out. I think those are looking a lot better. Normally I'd had quite a bit more detail on rocks, but with them just being sort of background and blended in, I'm not planning on adding a great deal more to them. I'm going to let the normal, because I'll be creating normal maps for this as well, so I'll let the lights and the normal map add a bit more of the variation of colour and things to them. The cross is still 100 times better than that I could make. Yeah, yeah, I'm just not happy with it. I've got some reference images, but they're not really helping with it, maybe with this, so I'll have to have a good look for some more and then maybe come back to this middle bit. I think for now, to be honest, I'm on a different layer, so I've still got that there behind, but I'm going to just start a complete fresh with that. Maybe I'll go back to it and get some guidance, but I think if I take that as a starting point and then I'll just draw the cross in again. I think it needs to be probably more symmetrical and then I probably need to work the lead work sort of to make it look like stained glass in from there. But I think I'll probably leave it there for tonight and then carry this on Thursday evening. Let's quick check a chart. It's Airspray, yeah, Airspray. Really like using it. I've used quite a few different things. Pixel Edit's quite good as well, but I've got into using Airspray and just find it really nice. It's not too fancy, but it does everything well that you need to for pixel art. So thanks everybody for dropping by. I'm going to call that a night now, and if anyone wants to drop by on Thursday, I'll probably be streaming between half 8 and 9, probably starting UK time on Thursday night. And I'm planning a lunchtime stream tomorrow where I'll be continuing my remake of Space Invaders using Construct 3. So thanks everyone for dropping by.